being a person who is disabled and is still portrayed as like a sex symbol, I don't know how often we do that. And I think we need more of that. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I am Anastasia the Black Bookworm, and today, as the title probably suggests, I will be discussing books that I want to get adapted into movies. Now, this idea came from the fact that like everything that is popular is being adapted, and quotes around popular because like it's a lot of romances written by like white women, so be that as it may, that are getting adapted into movies. And so what I wanted to do was to quickly discuss the books that I would like to see get adapted. There are some by white women, but there are some that aren't, which I think is most important. If you have not already, please subscribe and turn on those post notifications. Thank you so much for being here. I sincerely appreciate it. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And let's go ahead and get into my opinion that I'm not going to say nobody asked for it, because if you didn't want to watch it, you just didn't have to click this video. Here we go. Okay. And I'm going to say this. I tried to write down books that like I have not talked about. I didn't fail, but I didn't like 100% succeed. So some of these books you've heard me talk about, and that's okay. I don't know why I said that. Most of these books you've heard me talk about. Oh wow, we're here now. Okay, the first one is obviously Restore Me by J.L. Sears. I put this book on this list, one, because I loved it with all my heart, but two, I don't think that we get enough movies about romance that are centered around Black people without like trauma. And when I say trauma, I mean like racial trauma, which can be like slavery, it can be Jim Crow, it can be just, police brutality, it can be a lot of stuff. And I just want a Black romance that centers around love and love after loss and second chance at love, and dabbles in a little bit of enemies-ish to lovers-ish, without it being so traumatic to watch, without me having to like leave the theater and just wonder about everything that my ancestors went through. Like, I just want to be able to watch a movie about Black love and that be that. So that's why I put this on this list. The second book that I want to see turned into a movie. I'm sorry. Let's also put, a lot of these movies would be like graphic, like as in sexually graphic. But in a perfect world where we could just watch that and there'd be no judgment, go ahead and put that in here too. So, the second book that I want to see as like a book that's adapted into a movie is 7 Days in June. Oh my gosh. I feel like that book for me, because I've discussed it on my channel, I love the characters, did not like the book. I have a weird relationship with that book. I just didn't like it, but I love the characters. And that's just because I wish that we would have gotten more of them and their story. I feel like reading the book, it felt like it was halfway set up for a sequel. Getting background information on like specific characters of like, oh, okay, you know what? If this gets a lot of like acclaim and praise, we can write another one. And we've already got enough information on these characters to like spark some interest. For instance, the editor, I forget the lady's name, the one that threw the party. If you read the book, you know who I'm talking about. I felt like we got so much of her life and we didn't need it at all. I feel like it didn't move the story forward, but the way that that book is written, I feel like it could be written like a script and it would actually make a great movie, and it would be a little bit more entertaining to see the lives of everybody else. But in the book, I just wasn't feeling it. But that's okay, still making a movie. Third, y'all know I'm gonna talk about it. I talk about it so much. Credence. I want to see this book made into a movie. And that's just gonna be what that is. I want to see it made into a movie. It's so good to me. It's so good. And I feel like that would be, oh my gosh, to see who her family is. Oh my God. To see, I don't know. I just want to see who would be cast. Maybe one video I'll like do my dream cast of like these movies. Comment down below if you want me to do that. I want to see that. I want to see like a movie of this girl who's just like has no immediate family anymore, and goes to live with her stepfamily. I want to see it get crazy. I want to see everything. I want to see everything. If you've read the book, I want to see everything. Moving on. White Smoke. White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. And I feel like now a lot, I hate to put the weight of like Black horror on one person's shoulders because it's not just Jordan Peele doing it. I forget who directed the new Candyman. But I want to see more Black horror stories. And White Smoke was such a good book. Granted, that's the only horror book I've ever read, so it might not have been like that great in the grand scheme of things, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. I think the theme, I don't know, the setting of a haunted house is something that does not get old, because houses can be haunted in so many different ways. And so the way with this one, I feel like it would be so good to see how the town is like so desolate, to see how they've treated the people in their community. Like, you get to see why there's such a huge population of women versus men, and that's because the men are in prison. And it's a YA thriller. I think it could be adapted to a thriller. It's like a PG-13 one, where the whole family could enjoy it, because I feel like there's a lot of what was the word I'm looking for? Yeah, my brain is like fried. I cannot remember. I'm so tired. There's like a lot of themes that would be good for everybody to really understand and like think about, and what it looks like when people go into communities full of Black and brown people. When I say people, I mean like white and rich people going into those communities, in a corporate structure, like going in to buy like the land and buy the houses and like tear down those historical structures to like build up a place for gentrification, and seeing that those cities are full of real people and real history, and how that affects those people. So I think that would be good, but also like an element of scary would be fun, like a little scary lesson. So yeah, I liked it. If you've not read White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson, I would highly recommend it, especially if you don't read thrillers, because it was one of those things where like I don't read thrillers because my mind, like the things that I can come up with, kind of scares me, and I feel like a book just elevates my imagination. So I read it, and even if like with an elevated imagination, I wasn't like, it wasn't crazy. I wasn't having like nightmares or anything like that. So I'd recommend it. Archer's Voice. I don't know how much disability representation there truly is, as far as like the media goes, and I feel like this would be a nice way to do it, because I think that it would be really nice to see a character that's like, because Archer, does not speak. And he like taught himself sign language, but nobody signs with him. So like this hot, mysterious man that now has a disability that he wasn't born with, seeing that portrayed on screen, and honestly, I think seeing a person who is disabled and is still portrayed as like a sex symbol, I don't know how often we do that, and I think we need more of that. So let's put Archer's voice on the screen, the big screen, please. Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. I know I said I didn't really want like Black trauma stories, but and this one wasn't like too much of Black trauma. It was just more of intergenerational trauma, which everybody can relate to. I would love to see that on the screen. I would love to see a father confronting his parenting techniques and his approach to manhood and have that critiqued out loud on the screen. Because I feel like that would start so many conversations of like how we father our children, and how we parent our children in general, but this book is about a father, thinking about how he raised his son. So, but seeing that on the screen, I think that would be really good for so many people and for so many reasons. So I want to see that. And last but not least, the Rainbow Cove books by Annabeth Albert. I'm on the 4th one. I think that's the last one. But this book is about, the series is about different couples. They're all male couples. And I feel like their approach to BDSM is something that is done in a healthy, educational way and still like a hot way. And I think that it would help people to understand that like maybe you have kinks that you did not know about. Maybe you, and that's fine. That's normal and natural. And maybe you need to discover that and how to do that in a safe way. Because a lot of people don't even feel safe looking up that information and like learning. And that's not, I can't say why she wrote these books, but I'm of the belief of like people are able to look up their own information and to learn on their own, like but at the same time a lot of people won't do that. So if you put it in a nice package on the screen, I think it would be good. If the idea of like a male to male romance makes you uncomfortable, then I don't know what to tell you, because they're really good books. Really, really good books. And I feel like she does such a great job. I was reading those books and another series at the same time that was also talking about BDSM, and I feel like this series just did it so much better. Because both of the series are like doing it in an educating way where the main characters are kind of learning about themselves in this space. But this series, I feel like they just tackled it a lot better. And I have some honorable mentions because, like I said, I don't want to see Black trauma on the screen. But if I'm going to see Black trauma on the screen, An American Marriage, I want to see it. Oh my God, that book was so good to me. Oh, it was so good. It was so sad. It was so heart-wrenching, but it was so good. You see the effect that the justice system has on Black people and Black families. You see a man falsely accused of a heinous crime, check trigger warnings, and you see the result of what it's like to have your husband go to jail. Oh my God. I want to see that. I want to see that made into a movie. I feel like it was so good. It was such a good story. Really sad. Really, really sad. It was just heart-wrenching. My heart was like hurting to read this book. But shout out to Tayari Jones because she wrote the heck out of it. It was so beautiful. And last but not least, for honorable mentions, is The Vanishing Half. I know I talked about it in my 5-star reads video. If you haven't watched that, check it out. But yeah, I want to see it portrayed on the screen. I feel like a lot of times when you get stories about like Black people who are white passing, it's very much like they either find out that they're Black and they're like, oh my gosh, what? My life, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to go on? Or the people around them find out that they're Black and it's like, oh my gosh. Explicitives, slur. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you, and blah, 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 blah. But this book is about a girl who, well, twins that are born in a town where pretty much all the Black people are white passing. And they are, it's like the way that they carry themselves in that town is like, look, we're not white, but we're not black. We're like up here. And so to see someone come from that and like, it's like, oh, okay, look, this is the mindset that I was born with. And like the two sisters, they go run away. One of the sisters just completely disappears. And sis leaves. They've had their whole life together. They do everything together. Sis packs up and leaves, goes and finds her a white man, does not tell this white man that she is Black at all, and is like, lives her life as white passing, does not talk to her family anymore. Whereas the other twin marries a Black man, has a very Black baby, and then she ends up coming back to this town full of white passing people that deem themselves better than other Black people. And that's just like the beginning. There's so much story. So much potential for a great movie. I'm gonna go back and cast these movies. But yeah, those are the books that I want to see adapted. If you're looking for a change, Hollywood, choose from my list. I gave you nine different, and technically it was 12 because the Rainbow Cove series has 4 books. So I gave you 12 different books to choose from. Not that you asked. But if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those post notifications. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.